Every wealthy man in this country follows a script. He does not know he is following a script. That is the most important thing I am going to tell you today. So write it down before I continue. He did not write the script. He has not been shown the script. He has been told by men he respects that he is improvising, and he believes them. I have read the script. It runs about 15 pages. It was written slowly between approximately 1994 and 2008 by a coalition of interior designers, private bankers, a few wine consultants, and a man named Reggie who used to work the door at Cipriani. The script includes everything from the Patek Philippe Nautilus waitlist to the Hermes shopping appointments, from the 740 Park Avenue Co-op board interviews to the Art Basel Miami VIP previews. The script has not been substantially revised since. Every new money man who crosses the $10 million threshold receives a copy in the mail, metaphorically, and proceeds to execute it, item by item, while telling himself, and you, sweetheart, that he is being deeply original. He is not being deeply original. He is being item 3 on a list. I am going to walk you through the list today. Once you can see it, you will not be able to unsee it. Not on him, not on your boss, not on the entire identity of every man who has shown up at a charity gala in the last 15 years. Let us start with the houses. Item 1, the Manhattan apartment, or the Brooklyn townhouse if he wants to seem evolved. It is either in the 70s on the east side, preferably at 740 Park Avenue, or 15 Central Park West if he can manage the co-op board, or in Tribeca, or in a single specific 4-block radius of Brooklyn Heights. There are no other acceptable addresses. Reggie at Cipriani knows it is item 1 on the list. Item 2, the Hamptons house. Not Montauk, because Montauk is where the men who have not yet read the script summer. Not Southampton, because Southampton is where the men who read the script in 1987 still summer. It must be East Hampton or Bridgehampton if he is willing to admit the existence of art consultants. It must be on or one street off of a road that has a name his realtor mentions in a tone of voice. At 50 million, a property in Aspen, snowmass for the family man. Downtown Aspen, walking distance from the Caribou Club for the man waiting to be admitted. And eventually, after his second divorce, a villa appears in Tuscany or Provence. It is always a renovation project. The renovation will take 7 years. The wife will spend 3 of those supervising olive trees. And if his net worth is genuinely catastrophic, the Bezos kind rather than the boss kind, the package multiplies. Bezos has 8 homes. 8 that we know of. The compound near Seattle, the Beverly Hills estate, the Maui place, the Aspen condo, the Miami bunker. Mansion on Indian Creek, the Kalorama townhouse in Washington, D.C. for obvious power proximity reasons, the West Texas ranch, and the apartment his current wife is negotiating in Manhattan. The list does not get shorter as he gets richer. It only gets longer. This is not a personality. This is a real estate portfolio dressed as a personality, and it has been the same portfolio for the same kind of man for 30 years. Now we go to his wrist, a Patek Philippe Nautilus. If he is younger and wants to seem fun, the Aquanaut. If he is older and wants to seem serious, the Calatrava. He will tell you at dinner that he has been on the wait list for 3 years. Every other man at his tier has been on the wait list for 3 years. By some miracle, they all get off the list at the same time. If he's under 40 and made his money in tech, he might opt for Richard Mille instead, the RM11 Philippe Massa, or the RM35 Rafael Nadal. But the waitlist story remains identical. In the garage, the Range Rover, without exception. For the wife, he drives the Porsche, the 911, if he wants to be taken seriously by other men, the Taycan, if he wants to be liked by his children. A vintage car eventually appears in the third bay, a Mercedes from 1965 or a 911 from 1973 that he is restoring. It will never be road legal. It is functionally sculpture. Then the walls. The art consultant arrives at year 2 of the wealth. She has a name that sounds either French or Brazilian and 60,000 Instagram followers. She tells him he needs a Cy Twombly, preferably something in the 70 million range that she spotted at the Christie's or Sotheby's preview. He buys the Twombly. It hangs in the dining room where everyone can see it and almost nobody understands it. If he is younger and wants to seem accessible, the consultant suggests a Banksy instead. He buys the Banksy. By the time he hangs his, 8 other men have already hung theirs. Reggie no longer mentions it when they walk in. Now, one break from the list, because I do not want you to wait until the end of this video for the advice. If you are dating one of these men, hear this. Do not let him put you on his Instagram in a dress he bought. The dress is not a gift. The dress is an audition cost. He is shopping. You are not yet selected. We will come back to this. Now we go to the calendar. February in Aspen. Always Aspen, never Vale, because Vale is for the men who do not yet know that Aspen is the answer. He will go for the 2nd week of the month. He will post one photograph from the chairlift. He will caption it something modest about the snow. Every other man at his tier has posted that exact photograph this week. December in Art Basel, Miami, if the calendar permits. The VIP preview, obviously. He will be photographed next to something he cannot pronounce, but his consultant assured him was important. The Instagram story will last exactly 24 hours. August in Tuscany. At the renovation we already discussed. The friends come for a long weekend. The wife wears linen. The husband attempts to make pasta at a class in Lucca. He posts a photograph of his own hands covered in flour. Every other husband at his tier has posted that exact photograph from that exact class this summer. Christmas and New Year's in St. Bart's. Always St. Bart's, never Anguilla, because Anguilla is for the men who do not yet know that St. Bart's is the answer. The villa is rented. The chef is rented. The yacht for the evening of the 28th is rented. The Instagram for that 1 week looks like a small magazine spread, and that is the entire point. Once a year, a spiritual retreat. Bhutan, Costa Rica, or Marrakesh, somewhere with a wellness fee attached. He returns claiming he is rethinking everything. He rethinks nothing. The trip is on the calendar again next year. And 1 membership. Eventually, 2. Soho House at the very minimum, because Soho House is the entry-level club for men still figuring out what an actual private club looks like, darling. Then Zero Bond or Core Club if he's based in Manhattan, or if the family is old enough and the wife is presentable enough, an invitation to one of the real ones. He will not tell you which one. He will mention only that he was invited to lunch. This is not a life. This is a corporate calendar with charm. I swear to our patron saint, Lauren Sanchez, if I see one more chairlift photograph captioned "Best Week of the Year this winter," I am going to throw my phone into the Aegean. I cannot, I will not, I refuse to keep being polite about this list. And then there is item 9, the wife. She is item 9 on Reggie's list. She is approximately the same height as the previous wife. Now, here's why I bothered to read you the list. What looks like wealth on the outside is admission to a club. The man buying his way in is not certain, even now, that the club is real. He has the houses, he has the watch, he has the art, he has the calendar, he has the wife. And every single item on that list, sweetheart, was acquired so that another man would look at him and think, finally, he belongs. The homogeneity is the tell. A man with actual wealth confidence does not look like this. We will return to what he looks like in a moment. A man still convincing himself he's wealthy owns the entire kit, every piece. Acquired on the schedule, posted on the calendar, hung in the dining room, renovating in Tuscany, waiting on the call from the club. Which means if you are dating one of these men, you need to know 7 things. The first, ask him about his college roommate. Not casually, not over dessert. Ask him whether they still speak. Ask him whether he goes to that man's wedding, that man's father's funeral, that man's child's birthday. If he tells you they drifted apart, he has erased his witness. Write that sentence down. A man who has erased his pre-money witness will eventually erase you. You are also a witness. The package has no room for witnesses. Watch what he does when his pre-money friends visit. Watch whether they are still allowed to visit. Watch whether he calls them by their actual names or whether he has reduced them to job titles. My buddy from law school, some guy I knew at Princeton, the way he files his old friends is the way he will eventually file you. The second, ask him this. If everything he has been buying disappeared tomorrow, the houses, the watches, the Cipriani lunches, the Tuscany, what would be left of him? Watch his face. He will laugh and tell you, that is a strange question. He may get briefly annoyed. The annoyance is the answer. The man who cannot answer that question is the items. And if he is the items, the woman next to him is also an item. Which brings us to the third, my love. And this one is non-negotiable. It is a manifesto of sort in a 10 commandment format. Thou shalt not move into the package until there is a ring on your finger. Thou shalt not sell your apartment. Thou shalt not quit your job unless you have solid savings and would be just fine if he cut you off. Thou shalt not move to his city either. Thou shalt not let him tell you what should and should not be in your wardrobe. And last but certainly not least, when the time comes for the necessary prenuptial agreement, well, he'll invariably pay for a lawyer to represent each of you. And you'll think back on this video, and you'll know to demand he get you a lawyer who's just as expensive, aggressive, and experienced as his. And a little secret for you. The very best attorneys, they're always made of a perfectly balanced mix of a 6-figure retainer, a slight but noticeable element of crass to their personality, an incredibly high IQ, and an absurdly higher ego. You won't come across many in a lifetime, and when you find one, hang on to them for dear life. While I'm on the topic, this is already my 10th video since I started this channel. And I'd love to know, is there a particular piece of advice I've given so far that really opened up your eyes to reality about money? Let me know in the comments. You see, everything he gives you in the dating phase is an investment he expects a return on. And the return is your willingness to compress your own identity until you fit on his list. Do not compress yourself. He has 9 items on the list, and you are number 9. Be the woman who is too specific to be number anything. The fourth. Item 9 has a shelf life. 8 to 12 years, replaced when his wealth tier moves up. The woman correct for the 10 million tier is not, in his perception, correct for the 50 million one. He needs an item 9 update. This is not an opinion. It is the spreadsheet. The fifth. Look at the women he dated before you. All of them. Look at the type, the age, the polish. If you can predict the next woman in the lineup, you are not in a relationship. You are in a casting director's filing system, and the file moves on. The sixth, and the most important, be too specific to fit on his list. Reggie cannot list you. The art consultant cannot list you. The realtor cannot list you. You have to be the woman whose presence breaks the script. How? You stay weird. You stay employed. You stay friends with the women you were friends with before he arrived. You decline at least one Aspen February. You ask him about books, not net worth. You stay interested in things he does not yet know how to be interested in. And if he leaves you for a woman who fits better on the list, you have not lost the man. You have lost the seat. There is a difference. The seventh, and I cannot stress this enough, do not tell him he is following a script. Do not bring up this video. Do not point at the watch. Do not roll your eyes at the chairlift photograph. A man who has been told he is following a script will, within 6 months, replace you with a woman who pretends he is original, knowing the script is for you, not for him. Finally, I want you to know what actual wealth confidence looks like, so you can recognize it when it walks past you, because it does walk past you often. It owns a house in a town you have never heard of. It drives a car that the valet has to ask about. It has been wearing the same sweater for 11 years. It has never been to Aspen, or it has been once in 1987 and found it cold. It does not have an Instagram, or it has one with 38 followers. It knows Reggie. Reggie does not know it. It is, in every way that matters, unscripted. One last thing before I let you go. He is shopping for the next wife on the list. You are auditioning for a seat that may one day be vacated. Plan accordingly. I may sound harsh, but you, sweetheart, need to remember that reality is harsh. And much like time, it catches up to everyone, including you. I am only here on this channel making these videos and telling you all this because I want the very best for you. I really, really do.